Well, now that I have all the requests for the weapons, I can continue in this Let's Play. Didn't have to wait very long. People actually gave me quite a few suggestions in Miiverse. But the most wanted were the qunlance, and then I wanted the hammer, and then the dual swords. And then since I had already gotten to 3, but people still wanted to get some bowguns in there, I'm going to have some light and heavy bowguns mixed in for several, not every one, only several of these monsters that I'm going to fight. I'm still going to do the story mode. I'll show you all the story. But for now, it's the weapons taking down the monsters. Now the reason why the qunlance is a little bit better than the normal lance is because with the normal lance you can't do that wavering fire where it kind of looks not like that, like this, kind of looks like that except bigger. But with the lance you can counter. Can't counter with the qunlance. Instead of countering, you reload the shells. But you can do this. Oh wow, he's sleeping already. That just goes to show how powerful the qunlance actually is, and it's mostly in part of the wavering fire. The only thing about wavering fire well, the only downside, which isn't even that bad, is that it has a cooldown period of, I think, 1.5 minutes, something like that, where you cannot use it. Jaggi, I'm gonna kill you. You know that, right? Good. Yeah, that's the wavering fire. It's used with R and XA. Like you hold X and A and R at the same time, and it does that. So, for Great Jaggi, I've already done the hammer, and I've just now done the qunlance. So, I think I am going to do the dual swords now. Now, I am using a Jaggi qunlance, but you don't really need very many Jaggi parts for it. Mainly you need iron and then like a nitroshroom and I think a claw. I don't know. It's really easy though. So you could just barely get by beating him one time and then you could make this. So since dual swords are up next, get those out. Now, I have all my items in a particular order. And I have them sorted, like elemental and status-wise, in a particular order as well. I just have the ones that I use most, which I usually like to use the greatsword a lot. I also like to use the hammer a lot. I used to like to use the sword and shield a lot, but I still use it sometimes, so I keep it in the front. And then I love the dual swords, so those are in the front, as well as the longsword. I rarely ever use the switch axe, the gun lance, hunting horn, or the actual lance. And then the bows and bow ends back here. I also have space back here for any extra weapons that don't fit in this line that I have. Because see, there's space for 2 of each weapon for each status and element, except for exhaust. Actually, did not calculate right. But yeah, so, and then I have the armor after the bowguns. So, dual swords. Time to go kill another great Jaggi. Now, from here on in, these episodes are going to be a lot shorter. Like, a lot shorter. This episode, however, is going to be a little bit longer because there's an urgent quest. But it doesn't take long to kill most of these monsters. So the quests are going to be a lot shorter. Oops. Don't want that, but whatever. Now, dual swords. If you watched my cheaty dual swords video, they have a particular ability, I guess you could call it, where if you go into demon mode, you do not even need stamina to infinitely combo. Oops, did that wrong. Okay, so demon mode, which is this, needs stamina to function. But as you can see, I'm not using any stamina. There's no stamina at all. And that's because after he does the, okay, just a second. That, I have to press A. And then once he spins around once, like that, then you press X again, and just repeat the process. It's really handy against larger monsters that don't really move, like the Gen Morin, or the hollowed Gen Morin. But you can use it against, like, say, the Sedeus. Quite well, actually. Not as well as the Gen Morin, though. With this, you can break both the places on his back. Like you can break one and then break half of the other one within the first time you're actually on his back. like for high rank and just normal dual swords. Let's see. I use Blazerios, but you can actually get Blazerios Plus, which you can still have in high rank. Yeah, there's also another kind of cheaty thing you could do with the dual swords. Is like as soon as you like basically start up dual sword demon mode, if you like actually attack in the first like frame of that, don't know what a frame is, it's just like it's like a millisecond of the game. Games load, well, most games load frame by frame. If you had the Ocarina of Time 3D, and you know how to do the bomb glitch in the fishing place, it's the same concept. Except instead of switching whatever item you're using for bombs, you just attack. Oh, sounds like my brother is supposed to be up. That's his alarm. Static in the background. You can hear that. I'm sorry. I have to take care of that soon. The annoying thing about my brother is that he always has his alarm on the highest setting possible, and you can hear it pretty much through the entire house most of the time. So yeah, that was the great Jaggi with the dual swords. Yeah, I think I'll do the urgent quests in this episode. The next episode, I will fight the Arzuros with the weapons I have not used yet, which I believe are just the dual swords and the hammer. Oh, and by the way, this gathering spot here can give you carpenter bugs. So you need some, come here, you can get 1 or 2 almost every time you gather, well, almost every time that the gathering spot is available to gather at. Yeah, hear it now. He thinks static is going to wake him up, but nope. Hasn't woken him up in several years. It's woken everybody else up, though. So this quest might confuse some people. Shakalaka Savior. It's pretty easy though. There's some text boxes in the game like that you might want to read just for entertainment reasons. You have to go to Area 6. Which is in here. I'm going to get this little cutscene. I like this cutscene. It's kind of funny. Usually that, like, I don't know what else to call it, other than, like, actually, no, I don't even know what to call it. But when the Jaggi saw Cha-Cha, usually the only monsters that make that sound are large monsters. And even then, it's only when they've seen you for the first time in the quest, or for the first time in a long time in the quest. Now, I'm going to do mostly every single quest in the game, which I know is totally off topic. But yeah, I will do mostly every quest in the game. Come on, stop crawling. Thank you. Just because you have to get, like, Mark of a Hero and the Latrion battle. So you don't need to worry about that. I'm not going to do every quest with the 3, possibly 4 or 5 weapons that I've talked about. Just each monster. Oh my goodness. One time, I got so bored, like, doing this. Well, I didn't exactly get bored. I just wanted to see what would happen if I let Cha-Cha, well, the Shakalaka name will be Cha-Cha later, if I let him die. But nothing actually happens. He just dies. He just dies and you continue the quest. But if he does die on you, and you can't find him again, and you just decide to abandon, and you're just stuck on it, then just go to 6, 9, and then 2, and then that should be the rest of the quest. Just saving him in those areas. Can't remember whether or not it actually still signals if he's dead. But yeah, all the monsters actually flock toward him, so it's pretty easy to let him die. See what would happen. Cha-Cha is a very valuable helper. Works great as cannon fodder. Well, actually, monster fodder, but still. So that should be it. Unless he has to go to 5 as well. He might go to 5. Nope. You just go back to the home base. And then you're done with the quest. Kind of a odd quest, but it gives you Cha-Cha, so it's okay. Now you can change the masks on Cha-Cha and Kiamba, as I was saying. You can change both of their masks. Kiamba, you actually get, I believe, can't remember whether it's in low rank or high rank, but it's against a Duramboros, which is just a huge green thing with humps on its back that if you break, they turn red, blah, blah, blah. It has two curved horns in front of its face. It's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than the Jaggi or the Azuros or most other monsters. In fact, if you've seen my Latreon tutorial video, the new one, or the old one, but the new one's better, it's actually almost the size of the Latreon. Okay, so this episode is going to be relatively the normal length, but most of the other ones won't, because most of the other ones don't have merge requests at the end. Well, that was just a new honey box, which is always good to get more honey. Shaha, it is greedy, greedy hunter. Hurt, hurt on monster, but then hunter. Charge, steal? Yes. Cha-cha thunder with yeah. So Cha-cha thinks that he's like high and mighty. It's kind of funny. But when he's talking like this, he talks about how he's a shakalaka. He accidentally mentions that he gets lost in the forest looking for a mask, and then he says that you're his minion. But then a little menu pops up down at the bottom screen with like a whole bunch of Cha-cha stuff on it. And then it's like, oh, would you like to invite him on a quest? And you probably should, because, as I said, he works great for cannon fire. Monster fire, whatever. Well, it looks like the flooded forest is up next. Well, yeah, I can go to the flooded forest. But that will be the next episode, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.